A Song to the Tune of Love by It's_Kingston on AO3. Episode 27. Chapter 8. Yes, Sawmen, we're back. Hey, Uraraka said. Her phone was held to her ear as she walked back to her apartment. It was the day after she met with everyone, and she was returning to her place from patrol. How's it going on your end? I convinced the whole league to come. Well, it wasn't much convincing, but I did it. Toga replied. What about you? You said a few of your friends are coming. Yeah, just a few so far. Anyone in particular you want there? Or, I guess, not there? I'm sure I could convince someone to be nice. Except Katsuki. I'm not confident in my ability to talk it out with him. A smile made its way onto her face as she tried to picture Bakugou sitting quietly in a restaurant eating happily with his old classmates and ex-villains. Very unlikely. She turned and stared up the stairs to her apartment door. Figured it out then. Toga laughed. You can invite anyone. I don't mind. Oh, maybe not Shoto, though. I'll ask Dabi if he cares. Uraraka said. Or maybe you should. I'll let you know when I'm back home. I had something more important to ask now. Okay, what's up? Uraraka asked. She heard the dial tone play as she gripped her doorknob. With an amused huff, she pushed the door open and stepped in. You've really got to start locking the door behind you. Then you wouldn't know I'm here, Toga replied. She jumped up from the little couch situated against the left wall and started towards Uraraka. So what's the important thing you wanted to ask? Uraraka asked as she pulled Toga into a hug. Toga giggled as she leaned into it. When you have your whole hero suit on, you're taller. I don't want to have to lean down to put my chin on your shoulder. Uraraka smiled. It's all the shock absorption in the bottom of my shoes. Is that the important thing? No, I was just wondering if you had anything you wanted to ask me before Friday? Before Friday? Uraraka asked. No, not really. Why? Just curious. Toga grinned. You sound crazy, Dabi said. He looked, took a sip of his coffee. Like more than normal. She wants to ask me in front of everyone. I didn't take her to be such a romantic, so I gave her a chance to ask when it was just us because I don't mind, but she didn't take it. I guess you only have one proposal, so it makes sense she wants to go big with it. Toga propped her head up on her hands, leaning against the countertop. She's so cute. Sure, Dabi said. He yawned and leaned back into his chair. I think you're overthinking it. Seriously, what if she doesn't ask? Spinner walked in at exactly the right time to hear this, as evident by the whole widening of his eyes. Dabi looked over Toga's shoulder to find Spinner, who was quickly gesturing for him to shut up about the wedding. He seemed to think it was a bad idea to suggest that Toga was wrong, and that Uraraka wasn't going to propose. She'll ask, Toga said. Quit being mean about it. She reached down and pulled her knife from its holder, lazily waving it around. What's the word for someone so cute you just want to squeeze them until they explode? Or just... Toga gestured wildly for a moment before deciding on a word. Chomp? Dabi stifled a laugh into his coffee cup before looking over at her. Chomp? Chomp, Toga affirmed, nodding. I can't explain it any better. Spinner patted her on the shoulder as he walked to the fridge. Chomp works, I think. You know what I'm talking about? No fucking clue, but it works. Toga grumbled something and leaned back onto the counter. I think she wanted my opinion on the type of ring, Uraraka said. She buried her face in her hand as she walked down the street. Really? Midoriya asked. He was walking beside her as they patrolled the area. Luckily, their routes coordinated to the stretch, so Uraraka had someone to talk to about this whole ordeal. She asked me if I had anything to ask her. I think she knows that I know she was going to propose, so she just wanted to know if I had a specific ring. I don't think there's any other logical reason. That's why I'm talking to you. Midoriya sighed playfully. I thought you were talking to me because we're friends. I should have known it was about Toga. Uraraka laughed and elbowed him lightly. So, what you been up to then? Gotta keep up that impression of being friends. Just patrol and hero work. I've been giving lessons and helping with training at UA, though. Aizawa Sensei let me come back and help the future heroes. Midoriya smiled brightly. I'm completely booked, but don't worry. I kept Friday night free. Thanks, Uraraka said. It really means a lot to me that you'll be there. Of course. Midoriya looked over at her. I'd never miss my best friend getting married. Ah, Uraraka grimaced. I have no clue what I'm gonna tell her. Well, do you want to get married? One day, yeah, it sounds nice, but I'm 19. Sure, I'll be 20 in December, but that's still a kid. Uraraka threw her hands up. I just worry that she'll take it as me not wanting to be with her anymore if I say no. Midoriya stopped and rested a hand on her shoulder, causing Uraraka to stop walking too. Don't say yes just because you think that's the right thing to do. I'm not gonna lie, I think she'll be upset, but you know Toga loves you, right? Yeah? So she'll wait until you're ready too. Uraraka smiled weakly. Yeah, she said, nodding. Then more confidently. Yeah, she would. I'll talk to her about it too, after the fact. Let her know it's not a hard no, just a later. And then I'll be there for the actual wedding. Midoriya said. Uraraka brushed, smacking his hand off her shoulder. Yeah, I'll invite you, maid of honor. Midoriya laughed. I'll wear the prettiest dress, all green to match. He lightly tugged at a strand of his own hair. All the same shade, too. You'd look just as you do now. He scoffed, mouth falling open. I just comforted you. You're supposed to be nice to me now. Says who? Dad? Uraraka huffed. You're only Aizawa Sensei's favorite because you teach his class for him sometimes. He gets extra sleep. I know. Midoriya puffed out his chest, wearing the statement like a badge. Okay, alright. Sorry, I'm tired. I just came back from a house viewing, because we're moving. But what's it called? I really hope we get that one specifically, because it's a nice house, it's a nice neighborhood, and the rent's not that bad. I really hope we get that one. But anyways, I'm sitting here, I'm going to talk about what just happened in this. Oh my god, it is literally miscommunication, but at its finest. And I wonder how it's gonna, like, all go out in the end. I love Uraraka and Izuku's friendship here. Lately on TikTok, there's been a trend going on where, the characters from Wicked, one of them's like, oh, you know, green and pink go well together. You know, kind of situation. Or they go together, and it's like they go well together, or something like that. And then you get, like, little edits of characters that, color schemes are pink and green. So think, Draculaura and, fuck, I used to be a big, it's not Frankenstein. Monster High characters. Frankie? Frankie. Her name is not, why does that not click? I do not remember her as Frankie. Is her name actually Frankie? I guess in my head I always called her Frankenstein's daughter. But anyways, think Frankie and Draculaura. I do know Draculaura's name by heart. Draculaura was one of my faves, as you could tell. Frankie and Draculaura, Sam and Cat. I never watched Sam and Cat. Not Sam and Cat. I think it was Sam and Cat. I don't know. What's it called? What other characters? Those two characters from that one kids show of like the Tooth Fairies. Clearly Izuku and Uraraka. You know, think, you know, characters with pink and green schemes going together. And I mean, grammatically speaking, when it comes to the color wheel, color wheel. When it comes to the color wheel, I think they're complementary colors. Yeah, pink is right here, and green is, they're complementary colors, yeah. You would normally match up pink and green. They're complementary colors. They're colors that match with one another. They're literally right across. It would be more of a yellowish green and not a green with blue undertones. So it would be more of a warm green than a cool green. You know, more yellow undertones than blue undertones. So Izuku's green is more of a blue undertone than a yellow undertone. So, I mean, like, if we want to get to, like, the nitty gritty, they wouldn't necessarily, like, clash 100%. But, yeah. Well, I mean, there's some color wheels where it does hit the blue side of the green. And then there's some where it hits the yellow side of the green. Huh. I guess it just depends how many... Oh, but this one adds purple and then 2 different types of pink. That one doesn't have 2 different sides of pink. Okay, I see what... Okay, so that one's the more... I guess this is like the one that has the most. And if we go with the pink that you normally think of, it goes with a bluish green. Okay, so it does land more on the blue-green, right? Because green can have blue or yellow undertones, or as I like to mention it, cool or warm undertones. Yes, red is, I mean, not red, green is a color that is primarily a cool color. Just like how red is a warm color, red with cool undertones looks different than red with warm undertones. Red with warm undertones is more of a yellowish orange red and a bright red. Red with cool undertones, I like to think of it as more of a purplish red. You know? My battery is running low on this thing. Ah, shit. I gotta charge stuff. You know, things need charge. Why do things need charge? My quality of mic probably sounds horrid, but I'm giving you a whole lecture about undertones and overtones and stuff like that, right? So there is red with purple undertones, or for example, black. Those who wear black lipstick or do a lot of, you know, makeup with like black or stuff, you know that black normally has either a purple or a red undertone. Every color has an undertone, without a doubt, always has an undertone. I mean, if we look at the background sky, that is a purple with a blue undertone, right? If it was a bit more blue, it would then translate to being a blue with a purple undertone. Right? The whole thing has a purple, purplish. It has actually no. It has a blue overlay, so a blue undertone in all those colors, right? In the not undertone, but a blue overlay, which is different from a blue undertone or any undertone colors. An overlay just means that there is an over feature that you could tell that it's like a coolish over feature, right? A shade, a shade. But yeah, green and pink do clash together. And technically speaking, pink and yellow are also colors that go together. Pink and yellow. They're not complementary, but pink and yellow matched with blue go together. Pink, yellow, and blue go together. I think it was pink, yellow, and blue. Let me check. Pink, yellow, blue. Yeah, pink, yellow, blue are not complementary colors, but tricolors. Colors that go together because it's like 3 different colors kind of situation. So yeah, welcome to your step-by-step thing. Also, I get that whole I'm not getting married at 19, almost 20. I'm 19, turning 20 soon, right? I have a partner and I love them so much, but if they were to propose to me, I would say no. It would not be a hard no. In the future, I would love to, you know, marry them and stuff, right? We talk about marriage, right? We talk about marriage, we talk about moving together, we talk about all these big milestones and stuff like that. But we're well aware that we both have that boundary of like, we're not getting married young. That's not happening. we both accept the fact that we're probably going to be dating for like 5 years before we get married, right? We're probably going to be 25, 26 by the time one of us propose. And actually, we're not going to have the situation where we think, oh, is the other going to propose or stuff like that. We're going to sit down, we're going to talk, and we're like, hey, I think it's time that we consider marriage. Okay, yeah. We're both on the same page. We want to propose to each other, and then we're going to propose to each other. Both of us are going to propose to each other. Knowing what the other's going to answer anyways, but it's the thing that counts. And that also opens up the gates for in-public proposals, because it's not going to put pressure on the other, because I already know, like, let's say, for example, a public proposal happens to me. I get proposed to, like, at a restaurant or something. It does not matter, because, not, like, the public pressure or anything like that, because my partner knows I'm going to say yes. I know I'm going to say yes. So by the time that I get asked, instead of it being the whole, oh shit, this is in public, I need to say yes kind of situation, it's more about, oh my god, this is so cute. So everything good of a public proposal, basically. But yeah, I am so excited to see the rest of this. Sorry I went into a really long rant. I'm not sorry. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.